Alright, so I didn't want to just leave it off and not make an after show for that first episode since we're going to be doing this on a weekly basis. So we are definitely here to talk about The Last of Us first episode, first after show, all of that. We will be doing these on a weekly basis. This weekend we might be doing it late, like how we're doing this one. So that might be something that I definitely will let y'all know about that. But starting on the third episode, we do want to do it like an hour after the show. That way everybody can watch it and all of that. So this is definitely going to be the first one, and we're just going to free thoughts flowing all around. That's how we're going to go ahead and do these after show spoiler breakdowns, all of that. And of course spoilers will be ahead. We're talking Last of Us first episode, so this live will become a video after, so make a playlist and everything. That way you can definitely go back and check these videos out after. But let's talk about this first episode, which I think did a very great job at really giving us what we wanted to see from this show, from this series, and that's giving us a show, a basically good representation of what the game was and what we wanted it to be. And I think that Pedro Pascal was always such a great choice for playing Joel. I know a lot of people really weren't sure or really weren't expecting like Pedro Pascal to really handle it well, but I think he definitely did. Nico Parker as well, who plays Sarah in this, did an amazing job, and I was excited to see this opening scene sequence of the game and sort of how they went ahead and gave us a little bit more than what we got in the game of these two, a little bit more backstory, a little bit more about them, and really makes you appreciate once those very high stakes like happen, especially with Joel and Sarah at the beginning. And honestly, I've seen that many times playing the game, and it still got to me. It still got to me seeing everything that Joel and Sarah go through. And I think that both of these actors did an amazing job at really portraying this very well. I enjoy the scientists they show us at the beginning as well. I thought that was a very good way of sort of showing where's the world that they were headed into and how these scientists knew what was coming. And I really enjoyed seeing that play out, and also everything with Joel, with Tommy, with Sarah at the beginning really makes you feel even more for these characters, knowing where they're headed. If you've played the game, even if you haven't, you knew that something was looming in the danger zone. One of my favorite shots is actually from the beginning as well, is when Sarah is just there at the house and the older lady is just like spazzing out in the back, and Sarah has no clue what's happening, and there's like a bokeh effect so you really can't see clearly. It's like kind of like out of focus, so it looks even creepier when the old lady's like doing all of these movements and all that. And I really was like expecting that old lady to just pop up and get Sarah right in that moment, and I really was like on the edge of my seat. Really enjoyed that for sure. I do enjoy the Joel and Tommy relationship as well. I think that both of the actors did a great job at portraying them, and that accent for Joel, Pedro Pascal, has been going to Texas places to get that accent for sure. Very well done as well. But once we get into the whole thing, when the whole apocalypse and everything starts to happen, that's when I really was like, yes, this is it. This is the best way you can really put this out here. Everything from the shots to the motions and everything just felt just like the video game. You were very much so sucked into this world, and you were just there waiting to see everything happen beat by beat. And as soon as we get to when we know that Sarah is going to meet her demise, you're just there like, I can't do it. I can't do it. But overall, I think that they did such an amazing job. Choreography with the camera, the cinematography, the acting, the story, everything was so well done here. And very much so made it very frightening of a tale at the beginning. And then we get into years later, and everything's so bleak. It's so dark. It's so like depressing. And you really see Joel, how he has become this man who is just hardened and doesn't really try to like have any more feelings or anything like that. He sort of locked himself in, and I think Pascal played that role very well indeed. So I'm definitely excited to see him later down more in the series. We eventually do get our first look at Ellie as well and her interactions with Marlene. I was excited to see that the voice actress for Marlene is actually back. playing Marlene, which is always great to see these voice actors who did such an amazing job get more of this role and all of that. So excited for her in that aspect. But the relationship between her and Ellie, I think, was very well done, and I really enjoyed seeing that interaction. I think that Bella Ramsey as well plays a very good Ellie, just from what we've seen already. And when the whole thing with her and Joel finally happens and they get their meetup, I think it's done very well. So I think that the chemistry is definitely going to be there. So one of the things we do find out as well in this episode is that there is something going on with this radio that Joel's using, and Ellie tries to sort of crack the code about what it could mean, and eventually she finds out that depending on the era of the music that's playing, that's exactly what's going on. And she finds out through tricking Joe that the 80s music is that there is trouble ahead. They mention Bill, they mention Frank, which are two characters from the video game as well. And Bill, of course, being played by Nick Offerman, is going to be very exciting to see how that's going to be. I love Nick Offerman. I think he's been doing some very good and interesting roles lately, and I definitely am ready to see him as Bill in the Last of Us TV show. But I think that the whole premise and everything and just the way this show is being built is great, and it's like following the video games to a T, but at the same time it's trying to do its own thing as well, and I do appreciate them in that. But I'm excited for the next episode. We definitely end on a cliffhanger as we see that the radio starts to play an 80s hit. So very much so there is danger ahead is what that means. We know that Bill is probably the one on the other side. So Bill and Frank probably have something of some danger that is cooking up, and Joel, Tess, and Ellie, no clue. By the way, the actress who plays Tess plays it amazingly. I believe her name is Anna Torb, and I will say that is Cate Blanchett's doppelganger. I'm just gonna say it. It very much so looks like her. But overall, I enjoyed seeing this first episode. I love the opening sequence as well. I think they did a great job with that opening sequence. Very, very artsy, very like the way with the plants and everything, fungi and all of that. It just looked incredible. So I'm excited to see where we go from here. We do see a clicker at the end of the first episode, right at the buildings and all of that. So we can assume that we are going to see the clickers in the next episode, since they're going to be going out into the open. I mean, if you play the game, you probably already have an idea about what the next episode's going to look like. We are 9 episodes for this series, and I believe this series is going to cover the whole first game, so you can kind of go by beat about what's going to happen each episode if you've played the game. But overall, I still enjoy it. Even though I'm somebody who's played it multiple times, I still like seeing this progression and still enjoy it. I think the actors are doing a good job as well. Like I said, Pedro Pascal is definitely Joel. There were moments in this show during the first episode where he just looks so much like Joel. And I think Bella Ramsey as well playing Ellie, she definitely is somebody who is very much embodying this character, and I'm excited to see more of her in the upcoming episodes. We have an episode where her and Riley, which is one of her friends as well, that we find out a little bit more about their backstory, which is going to be interesting to see. So I'm excited. Like I said, I like how this show's been progressing. I like the characters. I like the way the actors are handling the characters as well. I'm excited to see Bill. We did get a little mention of him in this episode, which I thought was cool to see. We do know that he is on the other side of the radio, of course, and we know there's some trouble afoot, and that's exactly where Ellie, Tess, and Joel are headed to, as they need to get Ellie out to Wyoming, and Joel is still looking for his brother Tommy. I'm excited to see Tommy as well once they're out there looking for Tommy. Like we said, this is definitely one that I think many people were scared. They were hoping that this show is going to be great, and in my opinion, we're all good. We're happy, aren't we? It has gotten great reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, other review sites as well, and I'm excited for it. But let me know what your thoughts and your opinions are on The Last of Us Episode 1. We do want to make this into a weekly thing, this after show, so we are going to be doing it weekly. Now, I don't know if we're going to have it on time next week either, because I think we got some stuff we're going to be doing, which I want to talk about pretty soon. Hopefully, once everything is aligned, we will talk about it. But on the third episode, we will be doing it right after the show, like an hour after we do our video breakdown, and then we will do our live after show. So we just come here and talk about it. So this is definitely something we are going to be doing for the rest of the series. We do want to do this maybe with another show, Servant. But the thing about with Servant is that comes out like right at the beginning of the morning. So it's not like a show like this that comes out at a certain time where everybody can tune in at the same time and then come watch it. So I don't know if we'll do that. We still have to do our Servant video for that for sure. But Last of Us is something we're going to be covering weekly. I think it is something that is worthy of talking about right after the show, because everybody's just going to have the hype and everything about it. Like I said, I wanted to do it this weekend, but I got caught off, and then I had to watch it a little bit later, and then I wanted to do the video, and then I had to do the live. So it was already like midnight. I didn't know if that was too late or not. So I'll put a community poll to see what time would be the best time to do it, right? Since there's many people on different time zones and all of that. But like I said, we're excited. Last of Us definitely is one of those shows, one of those games, stories that I love talking about. We've had several videos about The Last of Us, whether it's our live gameplay, also talking about the endings of the games and all of that in anticipation of this one. So we always love to talk about The Last of Us, but overall, very pleased with this first episode for this season. I think Nico Parker, even though we don't see much of her after, of course, she plays Sarah, did an amazing job in what she had for that role. Even though it was short, it definitely hit, especially that ending with her and Joel, that farewell and everything, and Tommy's just there. It is just such a devastating scene in the game, and not to see it be done in live action, even more devastating. So I definitely commend them on their performance there as well. So I'm excited to see as well more of Joel. I think Joel, Pedro Pascal, is doing such an amazing job. Mandalorian season 3 trailer just dropped, and I was just like, is Pedro Pascal always going to be taking care of a kid now? Because that's definitely what we see. But all kidding aside, I think he's having such a tremendous run right now as an actor, because back-to-back roles that are going to be like legendary. People are going to be talking about these shows for years to come, and I think he is knocking them all out of the park. So I'm excited for Pedro Pascal and the future of whatever comes next. So yeah, super excited for that. Let's check our audio real quick and make sure that we're good. We're good on the audio. But let's just share this video, get some more people in here if they want to come on in. And if you haven't already subscribed and you're watching, go ahead and subscribe. We talk all the stuff you love in TV shows, video games, movies, all of that. So definitely come on by and subscribe. We do have a lot of videos coming for you pretty soon. So let me just go ahead and share it on Twitter. We forgot to do that. Can't forget to do that always, huh? Alright, so we're sharing this on Twitter. And yeah, we're excited to talk about all this for sure. Alright, so we are shared on Twitter. Yes, I think we're good actually here. Alright, so hello. So yeah, I think that what happened to that blonde girl is we definitely saw that. I think she was infected. If you noticed, when she was getting tested by like the officer, it came out red. And when Tess and when Joel were burning the bodies, you actually see the little girl, or boy, I don't know, it was a boy or girl, I don't remember. But you do see the clothes they were wearing is one of the ones that Joel actually throws into the fire. So they were infected actually, which is the sad part of it for sure to think about. And that was a very hard scene, honestly, when I was watching it, because it definitely kind of hit you right there, right? That this is how it all is done. And how are you doing tonight, actually, Mayan? Thanks for that question. I forgot to mention that part as well, because so much happened in this episode. It was such a long episode, but in a good way, because we got a lot of stuff in it for sure. And for some reason, the chat wasn't showing over here. So let me see if I can fix. Okay, there we go. So I had the chat off, but on this thing. But hopefully, if you're still here, yeah, that was pretty much what was going on there. Is that they were having this girl boy, I forgot. Then they were infected, so that was a reason that they got thrown into the fire after. But yeah, what did you think of the episode and the show so far? Are you enjoying it or what? Let me know. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for the next episode for sure. I think the next episode isn't as long as this one. I think it's like 60 minutes. So I'll probably be able to hopefully be able to catch that one and then do my video after and then live and all that. But we'll see. I think some of the episodes are like 60 minutes, some of the episodes are 80, and I think some are 90. So I'm curious to see how they're going to balance all of that for sure. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. We just recently replayed the game on our channel. We did a playthrough and everything. So going back to it and right after playing the game, it was definitely an experience for sure. And I'm excited for this one. I think we're gonna get something special from this show for sure. Like I said, Pedro Pascal, he's just been on a run lately. There's a movie he was in last year that I think didn't get enough people watching, and that was The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal. It is worth a watch. Really funny, really had me laughing out loud, but that's such a good movie. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent came out last year. Pedro Pascal and Nicolas Cage. Um, yeah, I keep hearing that about as well. Game of Thrones and everything. Bella Ramsey was great in this. A lot of people who were doubting her and everything. This was definitely for them to see just how great she was in this, and I'm excited to see more of her as we get further into this story. I think she did a good job in her first appearance as well, and just that tense moment as well when the guards testing her, and then she is just like with the knife and everything, and then you just see Joel just go crazy because he just gets these memories back of Sarah and what happened, and you just see him go into this fight mode. That was definitely something to see for sure, and I'm excited. I like the actress who plays Tess as well. I think she's doing a really good job as well, and overall, I like next this whole season just from what we saw in that trailer for the weeks ahead. It looks like it's gonna get crazy. We have the clickers, the bloaters, and it just looks insane. And I don't want to get too ahead of myself talking about things because I don't want to spoil anything. So I will not be getting too ahead of myself, ruining everything. Um, yeah, I really appreciate you checking out those walkthroughs that we do as well for The Last of Us on our channel with Caroline and all of that. Uh, Thank you so much for checking those out. But yeah, we were excited to redo those games and just get ready for The Last of Us now. And overall, looking back at the game and then looking at the show itself, the amount of detail and everything that went into it, especially that chase scene that they have at the beginning in the car, the point of view, that was definitely something that was done so well and something that I was just like, damn, they took their time to make this so legit, make it so good. Like you just feel like you're in that truck with them trying to escape and everything. And I was thinking to myself, I don't even know what I would do in that situation, right? Because you're already there not knowing what's going on, and you just see all of this destruction, you see all of these people running, you see everybody just going crazy, and you don't know who to trust or anything, and the army's there, they're not letting you through. It was just such an intense thrill, honestly, to see all of that unfold. And it is something that I thought was done very well in this series. It was like something you're just there, just very nervous about what is going on, and it really captured that moment well. The creator of this actually did another series called Chernobyl, which is really good. So I always was so excited for this because I had seen Chernobyl back when it came out, and when I heard they were getting together to do the show, I was like, all right, this is gonna be really good. So I'm excited for the show and everything right now for sure. After everything we saw in this first episode, I'm a believer that they are going to do a very good show, one of HBO's goods for sure. Yeah, the it definitely really emotional as well. The whole Sarah and Joel thing, the way they set it up and everything. You see how much these two characters are there for each other, care for each other, and all of that. And you see how much Joel is just trying to make sure that Sarah has a good life and everything, and then all of this just happens. Really, really hits you hard, and you can definitely just see that when he saw that Ellie was in trouble and with the Fedra agent and everything, all those emotions that he had for Sarah bottled up over all of those years just come out. And I think Pedro Pascal does such a great job at acting in the way he's able to sort of show you all these emotions he's feeling as well. So I was super excited seeing that, because we definitely know that he is going to deliver on all the other episodes that are to come still. So very excited for that. But I'm excited for Nick Offerman in this series as well as Bill. He's one of the actors I enjoy seeing him. Like, he's gone from being in a lot of comedic shows to being in more serious shows now, which is great because he can really play both characters very well. And this is definitely going to be interesting. And just in this first episode, we really don't get much of the clickers or any of those monsters. We just got the agents and all that, and it was still pretty thrilling. It was still pretty good. So I'm definitely excited to see how those horror elements are going to be handled in these next episodes as well. And I do want to talk more about that as well. So I'll be probably doing some more videos on that this week. So super excited, and honestly can't wait to talk more about The Last of Us as well. Like I said, next week we do want to do the after show, but I think it might be like today where we did on a Monday. But after that, all the rest of the episodes I think we should be able to do on Sundays. So super pumped to do all of that for sure. Oh, I did not know that that was their daughter. So I definitely see where the acting chops come from, because they did an amazing job in this as well. And I was very much so like believing these actors here. They did a great job at portraying a daughter and a father and all of that. So I definitely see where the acting chops come from. Definitely, now that I know that that's their daughter for sure. But yeah, they did a great job, and I was excited for it, seeing how it was going to be done, because we had been hearing that they were going to expand on this story between Joel and Sarah than what they had done in the game. So I was kind of curious to see how much that would be done. And I think that her scenes as well, like I said, one of the scariest scenes in this whole first episode was that part where she was there with the older lady, and the older lady was just behind her, just like moving around all erratic and weird. And I thought that that was definitely one of the scarier scenes, and definitely has me excited to see how this is going to be expanded more, this horror, especially when she goes into the house and she just sees like blood, and then these neighbors are just there, and the older lady just looks like she's about to like tear through everything. Definitely one of the most insane shots in the whole first episode. And then you just see Joel come through and just whack the lady. It's just crazy. So definitely excited to see how the rest of the monsters, clickers, everything will be done. But yeah, like I said, we're excited for this. Bill, like I said, will probably be in the next episode. I'm pretty sure he's the one behind the radio and everything. We've already heard about him, and he is definitely going to be one to check out. So Nick Offerman next episode. Super excited for that. Yeah, that was definitely something that it was like kind of blurred out and everything, but you can kind of make it out, and so you knew that something was gonna happen, and I was just like, you need to get out of there right now. Even though we know what was gonna happen, all of that, I was still like, don't do nothing yet. Get out of the house. But yeah, it was great to see. Really appreciate everyone who's on here right now. We do have some more videos coming. Talking about The Last of Us. Still, we have to catch up on our servant. That's a video that I still have up here. I'm still editing. I started editing other stuff, then I started doing other lives and all of that. So we definitely do want to get our servant video out as well by tomorrow for sure. But appreciate everybody coming out here tonight to check out this after show. We will be doing this on a weekly basis. We will be talking The Last of Us. We will be doing some more of that throughout this whole show. So if that's something you want to do and come over here and talk about it, we definitely do appreciate you coming. And we will be doing these on a weekly basis. It was definitely crazy to hear that interview and like see all of that, right? I talked about it in my ending episode breakdown. It was like we were just like, wait, like this is something that I think we've already heard in real life as well, especially considering everything that's gone on since the pandemic and all of that. So it was definitely interesting to hear that interview, and it sort of kind of aligns with real life as well, I thought. So that was definitely crazy, honestly, too. And yeah, this whole like thing just makes me like something we don't really think about is like how they were talking about fungi infections and all that. So it's definitely something that got you a little bit more scared, I feel. But yeah, overall, what a great episode. Started off strong, and I'm excited to see where we go. We still have, I believe, 8 episodes left, so we'll see how it goes. And yeah, anyways, appreciate everybody coming through. Everybody commenting, May Ann, always appreciate you coming through the lives and commenting all of that. But we will be doing this on a weekly basis. We will do them a little bit longer as well. I was just a little late for the first one, but we do want to get these on a more weekly schedule, more stricter and all of that. So that's definitely I'm working on for the next ones. So appreciate everybody who came through, who watched. This will be uploaded and be found on the channel as a regular video as well. And definitely check out our Last of Us gameplays. We're currently doing The Last of Us Part 2, but we already have The Last of Us Part 1, the whole gameplays up. That's done by Caroline, who also is on this channel. And we will be having more content on The Last of Us coming this week, talking more about the Fireflies, Fedra, and everything else, Bill. So stay tuned for that. But as always, appreciate everybody. And thank you for tuning in. Stay safe and stay positive, y'all.